Altay Bayındır, the 25-year-old 6'6" Turkish goalkeeper currently playing for Manchester United. Well, I say playing, he's contracted to Manchester United. He doesn't actually ever play, meaning that no one really knows anything about him. Today I am going to change that. I'm going to give you a bit of a background check, his history as a player, and then tell you his strengths and weaknesses, because there's a chance he could play tonight in the FA Cup. So before we continue into the video, a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, JerseyFifa.com, the home of all of the greatest football kits. Whether that be the new latest releases or the old classic ones like this, Jersey FIFA has something for everyone, and now you can check it out yourself using the link in the description down below. And also make sure to use code JerseyFifa for 10% off when you order. So prior to his move to Manchester United, Altay Bayındır spent his whole career so far playing in his home country, Turkey. At youth level, Altay represented 4 different academy sides before making his senior debut with Ankara, whom he would play for on 31 occasions, helping his side to back-to-back promotion campaigns between 2016 and 2018. These impressive performances in his first few senior campaigns led to Altay Bayındır getting his big move in 2019 to Fenerbahce, one of the biggest, most famous clubs in all of Turkey, and at the time he was highly regarded as the best young Turkish goalkeeper, and he was at a really good point in his career, also representing the first national team on the odd occasion. However, despite the good start to his career, things would quickly turn for the Turkish international when injury struck. In October of 2021, Altay was involved in an unfortunate collision with an opposition player, leading to an operation on his shoulder and several months out of the game. And then after that, he suffered from a back hernia, setting him back even further in his early career. That was kind of the story of Altay Bayındır, a really bright, promising young goalkeeper who was doing really well, got his big move, started well, but then had some injury concerns. Where did all of that lead to? A £5 million to Manchester United in the summer. So that's his background. What is he actually like as a goalkeeper? Well, as I've said already, Altay Bayındır is 6'6". He is a physical, imposing presence in the box and someone who has the capability and certainly the potential to be someone who really dominates his own penalty area. At 6'6" tall, plus with long arms, I wouldn't want to challenge him in the air because he's a well-built guy. I feel like 9 times out of 10, you're going to get knocked flat by him as he comes out to claim these crosses. So this is certainly a good side of his game. He also uses his big size really well when it comes to shot stopping. Again, that large wingspan allows him to cover large parts of the goal. And he also has surprisingly good reflexes. A lot of the time we see these big goalkeepers struggle to get down to lower areas, simply because they have more distance to cover to get from up here to down there to make the low save, but that isn't the case for Altay Bayındır. His reflexes are really good, also leading to the potential for double saves. Those saves where the shot comes in, you save it, you get up and you make the second save. However, at the same time, if we look at that in a bit more depth or from a different angle, it could actually be a bad thing. The fact that he makes double saves on such a regular basis would suggest that his handling isn't too good, and that can be correct on certain occasions. When long shots are coming in, there are situations where I would like him to hold the ball rather than spilling it back into danger. Particularly in an intense league like the Premier League, where the box is always super busy, any spilled shots often result in a goal. So that could be a problem for Altay Bayındır. However, in general, his shot stopping is very good. He's a very good shot stopping goalkeeper and more of a traditional shot stopper. We've seen this season that Onana has been quite unorthodox in the way that he has approached certain saves. He doesn't use the most traditional techniques when trying to keep the ball out of the net. Altay Bayındır is the complete opposite to that, very much a traditional goalkeeper with the techniques that he uses. Whether that be smothering the ball into his chest or making a K shape for a save, Altay Bayındır is a much more traditional goalkeeper. And one area where I really like him is his long range 1 versus 1 ability. So what does a long range 1 versus 1 actually mean? A long range 1 versus 1 is pretty self-explanatory. It's a 1v1 from long range. So rather than the shot coming from literally here, it's more of a case of the opposition dribbling at you from a distance, 1 versus 1 the whole time. How do you deal with it? Are you someone which rushes out too early, allowing them to finish past you? Are you someone who stays on your line, making the goal nice and big and it's very easy for the opposition to finish? Or are you someone who gets it in between perfectly right, reducing the angle but also giving yourself enough time to make the reflex save? You guessed it, Altay Bayındır is the latter. He is very good in these scenarios. We can see this in this sort of scenario here. The forward is racing in on goal and Altay Bayındır makes a very smart decision early on in this situation. He checks behind him to see where his post is. Now the idea of that is he wants to know whereabouts within his goal he is. He then comes out a little bit further to put pressure on the player. However, because he has checked his angles, he knows that as the opposition striker takes the shot, he is covering a large amount of the goal. If you look at the striker here and the angles he actually has to find the net, you can see that Bayindir is nicely in between those two lines, giving himself a really good opportunity to save the shot. And then we see those good reflexes that I've seen. Again, if you're talking about a 6'6" goalkeeper, that's a big frame. You've not got much space to try and find the ball into the back of the net, and we see that on this occasion as Altay Bayindir turns the ball around the post with a good save. We've got something a little bit similar here, but on the other side. The opposition once again are running through on goal. Perhaps you've got to question the Fenerbahce defence. But the ball comes in on goal, and again Altay Bayindir makes the early decision to come out and put pressure on the player. Having put pressure on the player, what he then does is he makes a decision to make himself nice and big. He gets himself in his set position with his arms down by his side, ready to spring them up to make a reflex save. But again, if we actually look at the angles, we can see that once again he has massively reduced the area where the striker has to hit with the ball. Again, a 6'6" presence in goal, making himself nice and big, reducing the angle. It's really difficult to find the back of the net from this situation. And again, Altay Bayindir shows his reflexes to turn the ball away from goal. So again, I think this shows that overall he is a really good shot stopper. And in that way, I definitely think he could be a really good player for Manchester United. Another important side of being goalkeeper under Erik ten Hag is what you do with the ball at your feet. And this is an area where I think Bayindir is pretty decent, and certainly an upgrade on someone like David De Gea last season. Bayindir is comfortable with the ball at his feet, whilst probably not being elite. So let's say he receives the back pass from a centre-back. He is comfortable, he's happy to take a touch, slow things down, at times draw a player in before then releasing the ball. Those are good signs. However, he isn't as two-footed as someone like Onana. Now, perhaps it's a little bit harsh to compare him to Onana because I think Onana is one of the best ball-playing goalkeepers in the world. But Bayindir, if you force him onto his weaker left foot, you force him one way, it can become a bit of a weakness as he looks to send the ball long. Perhaps the connection isn't going to be as good on his weak foot. The other thing I'm not sure about with Bayindir is his ability to play clipped passes over opposition wingers and into the fullbacks. You guys know me by now, I think this is one of the most important passes for a goalkeeper to have in his locker. I'm not sure if Bayindir does. Now again, I'm not saying that he doesn't, I just haven't seen the sample size, seen enough footage to really say, yes he definitely can do it, or no he can't. So it is an area where I'm a little bit unsure. But in general, I think he is a pretty good ball-playing goalkeeper. We can see here, for playing for Turkey, he's happy to receive the ball, and what we can see is that he's got a really relaxed body language. So on this occasion, he receives the ball with the left foot, takes the first touch, gets the ball onto his right foot and plays a nice simple pass. Nothing particularly complicated. But what I also like is that he is happy to play a little bit higher, in between the centre-backs, almost at times forming a back three. Now again, on this occasion, he does nothing particularly impressive. You know, it's just a simple pass to his left. But I do like that he is happy, he is comfortable, and he is confident coming out into these areas to try and create better passing angles for his centre-backs. And then we've got situations like this, where we can see the ball is played backwards. Again, this is representing the Turkish national team. The ball is played backwards towards Altay Bayindir in goal, and we can see that he is happy and confident to put his foot on the ball quite a long way from goal. Some goalkeepers in this situation like to rush things, but not Bayindir. He puts his foot on the ball. Now the question is, why does he do this? Well, this is actually a bit of tactical awareness. He is aware that his two defenders, as we can see here, are pretty high up the pitch. Basically, his plan with this touch is just to give them time to get back into deeper positions, so that if Turkey are to lose the ball, at least the centre-backs are there ready to defend. And this is what happens. Turkey get back behind the ball, like this, and once that has happened, Bayindir then recognises it is less risky if he loses the ball, so therefore he can go with the long forward pass up to the forwards. So again, I think that shows good intelligence with what he's doing on the ball. Overall, I think what we can see with Bayindir here is that he's a very good, pretty complete young goalkeeper. At 25 years old, he still has plenty of years ahead of him at the top level. And I think he's got a good character, a good personality, playing for Fenerbahce for so long, being the captain. That's a lot of pressure, that's a lot of responsibility in a tough environment at Fenerbahce, and he done really well there. We can see that technically he's good with his shot stopping, he uses good technique, and is particularly good in those long range 1-versus-1 situations, although I would like a little bit better handling. I also think his decision making at times could be a little bit improved as well. In terms of on the ball, a big side of a Manchester United goalkeeper, he can play with the ball at his feet. He isn't someone who is scared with the ball at his feet. He always looks nice and relaxed and comfortable. On the odd occasion, you will see him throwing in a little Cruyff turn on the edge of the penalty area, which may not be the most relaxing for fans to watch, but it's a little bit of fun. And again, it shows that confidence with the ball at his feet. However, in terms of pure quality with his passing, again, I have a couple of question marks. How good is his weak foot, and can he play that clipped ball out to the fullback? At the moment, we don't know because we simply haven't seen him playing enough football. He might now get his chance tonight against Wigan, next week against Spurs, and if Onana is away for longer at the AFCON Cup of Nations. We'll simply have to wait and see. If it was me, I would really like to see him now given a chance to play in the first team and, you know, make a claim for that starting spot. Put Onana under a little bit of pressure. No player at Manchester United should be guaranteed their spot in the team, and the goalkeeper position is no different in my opinion. There should always be competition, and from what I've seen, Bayindir certainly represents that. Let's hope he gets a chance, takes his chance and plays well. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below though. Have you seen him playing for the Turkish national team? Have you seen him playing for Fenerbahce? Or even earlier in his career at the academy level? Let me know what you think. Do you think he is a good enough goalkeeper to be Manchester United's #1? Like his actual number represents? Or do you think he always will be a backup goalkeeper? Do you want to see him against Wigan? Do you want to see him against Spurs? What are your thoughts on the whole situation? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.